Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. The Stars and Stripes progression event just went live, as well as some other stuff. As always, you will find timestamps to jump to the part that interests you the most. We're gonna get started with the progression event. This time we can get some really cool stuff as free-to-play players all the way up here to level 8. And at that point we will end up having 3 miners with 4% bonus power each. So this is pretty good for free-to-play players, guys. The good old miner with 4% and 500k, the gravity, same stats, and then also here all the way up the first class with 270k in mining power and 4%. So this is pretty huge, getting 12% bonus power with this tiny amount of points that you need in the progression event. This is very unusual actually. Normally you always need a multiplayer to get really good stats. For example, like this Vice City drive here. If you wanted to get to this point, you would of course need already a multiplayer, and you see already the crazy stats here. This one has a really good base mining power, but has lower bonus power than the ones we can get as free-to-play players. So this is a very good thing to see actually. Also you get a festive rack with only 6 slots though, but it has a rack bonus of 14%. So not only you are getting 3 really good miners for beginners, but also you get a rack where you can instantly place them on, so that is very cool. Also you get some experience for the season pass, and for all of the other stuff that you see here past level 8 you will need to actually raise your multiplier, and then you get some really good miners like the cryptocurrencies with 7.5% bonus power, the new miner which is the Flight of Freedom. You get it 2 times on level 1 and also 1 time already upgraded on uncommon if you get all the way to level 21 here at the end, and then you will have the chance to actually make that miner a tier 3 version, and at that point it is actually quite good already, and the merch is not even that expensive. On rare this miner has 52p and 18% bonus power, so this is pretty huge, guys. Also to make it a level 2 version it is not so expensive. At that point it already comes with 20p and 12%, and as I said, one of them you already get on level 2, the other one you just make it and then you craft it to tier 3, and then you have a really good miner standing around now. And the other things that you are getting all the way to level 21 here is also really good. For example, the American Empire with 8p and 3%. You get the good old miner upgraded to tier 3 already with 8% bonus power. Surprise Celebration with 5% bonus power. So this event is actually pretty good in bonus power talking. The mining power itself is not so great, but bonus power is absolutely insane in this event. And in total you would end up having 63p in mining power if you get all of the stuff, and 64% bonus power. And this is crazy because the actual amount of points that you need this time to reach the main reward here with level 21 is only 17 million, let's say closer to 18 million. And usually this kind of event you need like 40 million or more points to reach the end. So this is quite inexpensive for being a progression event, and we have a lot of really good stuff free-to-play players can reach. So I really like this kind of progression event more than the ones where you need to spend an infinite amount of money to get anything, and those free-to-play players most of the time are just left behind and they don't get anything. This time it's completely different. I really like that, and I think that everyone should at least get to level 8 here. Another thing ongoing is the next sale of this weird collection of those bags that we can actually purchase here, the designer set. And you already know my opinion, guys. I don't really like any of the sales related to this kind of set, because as I said at the very beginning when they released the first sale, that it's going to probably be costing a fortune, that you need to basically sell your kidney or something to buy this. It kind of is true, because the next sale is not that cheap neither. So you would have needed to already spend quite a lot of money to get to this point in the set. And then there is more to this set, because there's of course more pieces coming up, and we don't know the price of that one. So I don't think anyone should purchase this. I'm going to stick to my opinion about the set. I do not like it. I don't like this kind of designer stuff. This is not something that you should purchase, because it's really too expensive for what it gives. And if you are missing out on one of the sales, then the set is already quite useless, and you could potentially buy something that's way better with your money. So just don't pay attention to this set, even though it looks quite cool and they probably put a lot of effort into this. I just think that the price is very inappropriate for something like this. Another thing ongoing is the Bara crafting, and this one is quite cool because now we can actually craft the Exabara and the Gigabara and also the Terabara into the next tiers. This didn't exist before, but now we have the versions that are actually good. So for example, you could now go ahead and craft the uncommon Gigabara. As I said, this one didn't exist before. Those miners are really good. They have now a little bit higher power, base power talking, and a lot more bonus power if you are upgrading them to the next tier. For example, if you get the Exabara to tier 3, it has 17% bonus power, so this is quite huge. Also, the merches are okay, I would say. The prices could be a little bit lower, but now that we have those merches with costing each of the parts one time most of the time, it is quite expensive no matter what you're merging. So you would need to make sure that you are actually not spending too much into the merge. Like this is kind of a no-brainer to check it out if it's a good craft or not. For example, you go with the Giga and you want it on level 3, then you need to craft this one of course 4 times, and that would cost you in total 140 batteries. At the moment the batteries must be like 10 cents or something in the marketplace, so that would be way too expensive for this kind of miner. And then you would need to of course to upgrade this one to the higher tier to make it something worthwhile. But at that point the only thing that's good is the bonus power, and the base power talking is really low for such a big price or such a big investment. So I don't think that the crafts are really good if you want to actually merge the stuff. But if you wanted to craft it only one time because you don't own the miners yet and you still have space in your room, then I think it is good. So the TLDR here, craft it one time and then just leave it be. Don't craft it multiple times if you want to actually save a little bit of money, because there's always going to be a little bit better crafts or better offers at this point where you can expect more return for your roller token. So one time crafting good, more time crafting no good. Another thing ongoing is the Stars and Stripes race, and this one is a pay to win race only, where you need to actually purchase roller token to get 1000 points for each roller token. And this is only going to be good if you actually want to progress inside of the progression event, because most of the time if you want to reach all the way to the bottom here, you will need to exchange roller token anyways. So at that point it would be really good to buy those tokens here and then basically participate in the race at the same time. If you don't actually intend to go into the progression event, then you can just ignore the race. But if you happen to get into the progression event, then you can expect some really good rewards, because rank number 1 already gets this pendant miner here upgraded with 16p in power and 10% bonus power, so that's pretty huge. Also 1.5k season token is pretty good, and those fans, they are not so great, they are not as expensive as you would expect them to be, but they are something that you could resell in the marketplace, so this is quite okay too. As always, thank you so much for watching guys, have a nice weekend. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I see you in the next one. Bye!